Pastor, wanted to have him on, tell me what's going on. And there he is.
How's it going? How are
Hey,
you?
man, how are you?
I'm doing well. Happy birthday, first off.
Thank you.
Nothing better than a Ohio State win for your birthday. Huge Ohio State fans over here.
Oh,
Definitely.
good. Yeah, I was happy with the Browns. I think that's a good sign. The Browns last night.
Yeah.
I hope Bama starts off with something equally as good by hiking the ball over their head or something like that,
Oh,
or
yeah.
fumble. Made it a lot more easy.
Momentum. Yeah. We need all the momentum. So,
Yeah.
just a question, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the biggest factor that kind of separates, an entrepreneur and a successful entrepreneur? That one little step.
You know what? It's the desire that you must be what you can be. The successful entrepreneur does every single thing it takes as long as it takes to get there. And a good entrepreneur can execute, have a good idea, but if it gets too tough, they quit.
Right.
Either if it takes too long or it gets too tough, they're not willing to risk everything. And if you watch the movie The Greatest Showman,
Yeah.
the difference is Zac Efron compared to Hugh Jackman, right? Those two characters portray the. I mean, Hugh Jackman, he would do whatever it takes, and that's why he's successful. And Zac Efron was a little more intelligent. He's a great entrepreneur, a good
Right.
leader, but people don't respond to that. They respond to all in, all never quit. And if you have the desire that you must be what you can be and you enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of that potential, you'll be a successful entrepreneur.
Right, absolutely. That's definitely something that, I've heard from all different people, and I totally, something that I hope to improve on and something that I hope to continue doing. Just one more question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
In terms of, marketing and with a new brand and a new podcast or anything, what would you say is the most effective, quick, but efficient way to, to get your brand out there and get your ideas out there?
The best way is to put as much content out there as you can. Don't discount how, hard it is for people to know who you are, what you're talking about, even though it seems like you're posting too much or, and the problem is the people that are closest to us and love us the most, they're usually watching everything. And so to them, they're like, oh my God, you're posting too much. This is annoying. You know what? Annoy the crap out of the people that already know you in order to get to the people that don't know you. So I'm going to repeat that to everyone. Annoy the crap out of the people that know you and ask for forgiveness until you get to the people that don't know you, because they're not going to ever know you unless you post a lot, more than you could ever imagine.
Right. So, out of all the people that you've met and been associated with, what has been that one thing, if there is one thing, that's kind of stuck with you forever, whether you heard about it, 10 years ago or it's now in your career? What's something that, really allowed you to continue going forward and something that you've always lived by?
For me, it's be more interested than interesting. So when I was your age, my oldest brother, I wanted to be a doctor. And I went and visited him. He was at the hospital. And the first thing out of my mouth was, man, I hate hospitals. He almost fell over. He's like, dude, you're pre-med and you hate hospitals. And the truth is I realized that I was just doing what everybody else wanted me to do. I was trying to please everyone else. I'd never been more interested in being a doctor than interesting. And when I realized how many people throughout my own career and how many times I've missed the boat because I was just interesting, not interested. And so, when I realized that, in order to be a doctor, you have to be in hospitals, I started to look for that extra question. I started looking for the spheres of influence. I started looking for the light, the love, and the lessons in everything that I do. So that piece of advice, to be more interested than interesting, has carried me from 18 to 28 to 38 to 48 to 53 today.
Right. So, is there something specific that you were told, that helped you with your podcast? I don't know if you use that same mentality or you have something that, specifically to your podcast, because I'm starting one up as well. And it's just, looking to get some advice for that as well.
Yeah. So for your Buzzer Beater Sports podcast, one of the things that I was told is you got to find your frequency. And I know when you're younger, it's a little bit harder. I mean, you got to take a position. I have Miles Grahams on Sunday. So I put my 10-year-old with me and I'm trying to teach him to find his frequency. If you notice while I'm talking, I'm like, no. Give them your what you think.
Right.
Don't play the diplomat. That was when I started doing interviews when I wrote my first book, and I had a bunch of people want to interview me, and they were such bad interviews, and I wasn't giving them, I was receiving them
Right.
because I could not take a position. Now I know my frequency, right? I tell people what I think. Yes, they're going to laugh at you, scoff at you, make fun of you, but eventually they'll applaud you. And I'd rather people hate me for who I am than love me for who I'm not. And it's a much better position to take. And I always use the lady, Dr. Pimple Popper.
Right.
The majority of the people in the world don't want to watch people pop pimples, but
Right.
there is a select group of people that love that stuff. And guess what? They resonate with her. She keeps on posting it. She has her TV show, her podcast. She has YouTube videos that skyrocket in viewership.
Right.
And so she knows her frequency. Learn your frequency, develop it. Don't be in a hurry. Just make and tell people what you think. And don't be afraid of changing your mind and telling people I changed my mind. Hey, I used to think this. Now I think this. This is what I learned.
Right. I feel like that's definitely something that seems like you kind of understand and can kind of use as motivation as you get older. I feel like, at least for me, like over the past few years, I see improvement, but it just always gets more and more difficult with like, peer pressure and everything, with other people kind of like, why are you doing this and stuff? So it's always sometimes kind of hard to find that little like kicker as to like why you're doing it. But I think that, it's really important. Like I said, something I've learned was finding what I want my end goal to be, and doing everything I can to really get there. So it's definitely something I've been working on, and I really appreciate you for having me on and answer my questions.
Yeah, one more good piece of advice. Show me your friends,
Yeah.
and I'll show you your future. So just remember, keep the right friends around you, people that learn from you, you learn from them, they support you. And remember, most importantly, ask for help. Trust me, everybody wants to help you. All you got to do is ask, anyone that could help me. I'm looking for someone to help me with the podcast. And look, I'm more than happy to help you anytime that you want. All you got to do is reach out, david@dmeltzer.com. I'll send you my books, guides, exercises. Share my podcast. We'll co-promote each other, and we'll enjoy. Remember, everyone, check out Buzzer Beater Sports Podcast. The incredible Matt Kellner. He's going to be a name to reckon with. I promise you, he's going to find his frequency. And just do me one favor. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. When you get super famous, don't forget me. Make sure you put me on your podcast.
Thank you so much. Go Buckeyes.
Go Buckeyes. Thanks, Matt. Awesome. Hey, look, great questions, huh? We're all there asking those same questions. Let's take a few questions before I got to go. We got a private coaching group coming up. It's my trifecta day, birthday, launch on Amazon, and of our TV show, and of course, the Buckeye game, the national championship. How important is forgiveness to you? It's extremely important, and it keeps on taking a bigger and bigger role in my life. So let's see here, Tyler. What is a conversation you resisted having? That is why. Why did you realize you needed to finally have that difficult conversation? Yeah, you know what? I had to have with one of my daughters a conversation about just learning to love you. My daughter's very much like me and a pleaser, and I just wanted to have a conversation to let her know three things: that, I love her, I'm proud of her, and I always have her back. But none of that's going to matter unless she learns to love herself and feel confident in all the wonderful things she's done and will do. And you know what? It's tough as a parent to do those things and to have those conversations. What stock are you most interested in right now? I don't really look at stocks. I ask experts to help me and do things in variable ways with index-based annuities and other things like that. So, but I will look at the top 50 performing stocks and what industries and careers are involved. I will look at the top 50 stable stocks and see what industries and careers are involved. And then I also will take a guess for business development on what I think will be doing well in the future, like esports and gambling and refrigeration, things like that. I think will be doing really, really well. Let me take a couple more questions here. Keep this going. Advice for a 17-year-old trying to stay consistent in whatever. Lower the bar. Lower the bar. One of the things about being young is we try to bite off way too much. Tiny little bites. Lower the bar. Pick something that you think you can do every day for the rest of your life at 17. It'll make it much easier to be consistent with what you're doing. Okay? Lower the bar. it'll pick itself up. Your natural expansive nature will do more than what you set out to do, but lower the bar, angle to what you want, have faith you'll end up somewhere better than that. Be the best thing to do. This is the after school edition of Instagram Live. We had the great Matt Kellner from the Buzzer Beater Sportscast on here asking some killer questions. Keys to the game tonight for OSU. Number one, defense. Number two, Justin Fields. So if the defense can hold them to not score every time, and Justin Fields can score almost every time like he did against Clemson, this game will turn out just fine. I don't know how injured Justin is or how much they're going to numb up his broken ribs or whatever he probably has. But the keys to tonight will be defense and two, Justin Fields. That's what it's going to be. He needs to throw that ball like he did. Those receivers are going to get open. He needs to hit them the same way that he did. Number one, defense. Number two, Justin Fields. Jakey Bakey, the anti-Ohio State fan because he's a Michigan freak. But that's all right. And your freaking running back. Yeah, that's just given. But you got to give that guy room. You got to make those deep ball, those throws like he did. And Bama, there's nothing like the greatest team that's played in this decade. I don't care what you think. They've always been there. By luck, they haven't made it a couple times. Best way to grow a podcast in 2021 is to be consistent with it. Stay consistent. 99% of those 2 million podcasts don't have over 100 downloads because they're not consistent. You got to bring it and find your frequency, strengthen that signal, clarify your message. People will come. They'll start sharing it, spreading it. Remember, podcasts aren't viral, right? They're not viral. They don't go viral, podcasts. They get recommended. They take time. And so you need to keep bringing a frequency so that people on your frequency will like it. Let's see what other questions there are here. When you were a younger version of yourself yesterday or 10 years ago or 30 years ago, when you were a younger version of yourself, how did you envision this stage of your life? It's funny because today's my birthday and I was thinking about how blessed I am that I never would have envisioned when I was younger having such an extraordinary life. I always knew I'd have a good life, but this is like a dream. I have to pinch myself and surround myself with the greatest people and just the kindest people and world thought leaders, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, millionaires, billionaires, but just kind people and allowing me to expand and help others to help others. I couldn't even imagine being where I'm at, and I'm so blessed and grateful for all of this. How do you increase your frequency? Number one, you got to be aware of your potential, meaning you need to pursue your potential through being centered or neutral, plateauing and growing. You can increase your frequency, your vibration by meditation, by doing good deeds, by giving to others. Anything that's closest to the truth or your potential will increase your frequency. I think my unwinding routine the night before to start my day to plateau and grow and not roll the boulder up to the top of the hill, just have it roll down in the morning like Camus, The Myth of Sisyphus, but instead just work consistently to plateau and grow in my life and increase my frequency through good thoughts, good deeds, good people, and my higher self. Whatever you define and how you would activate on that. Do you believe that getting a job in sports PR is competitive? No, I don't. I think, sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it'd be much easier to get a job in sports PR than it would in teaching PR or book PR. So you just have to, build your experience, your skills, your knowledge, your desire, your capabilities of what and who, and you'll get there. Just take your time, detach your emotions from the outcome, and stick those emotions right on to making it happen. All right, everyone. This was a quick edition of Instagram Live After School Edition. We'll do these every Monday. We'll probably do one or two in the morning. Remember, today is the Dave Meltzer trifecta. It's my birthday. It's the national championship, and you can catch 2 Minute Drill on Bloomberg, Amazon, Pluto, Reach TV. We are launched, killing it. Season 1, episode 1 is out. Check it out tonight. You'll love it. If you have any requests at all, training is on abundant negotiation. Spotify, Entrepreneur, every platform, the playbook, share it, like it, david@dmeltzer.com. You can text my community 949-298-2905. Thank you, everybody, for the great birthday wishes and the birthday gifts and cards and everything that I received. It's extraordinary, and especially to my family. All right. Remember, everyone, we'll be here tomorrow, 8 a.m. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. We'll catch you for the trifecta. Go Amazon, go Buckeyes, go birthday.